each and every day. Love and live your way to your very best. Learn and lead today. Be the best you can. It's your life. Take a stand, so live your best life. Live your best life. Come on and live your best life with Dr. Julia Royston.
Well, hello everyone. I am Dr. Julia Royston, bringing you another edition of a Live Your Best Life. It's a special edition. It is day one of the Educational Summit. Oh my goodness, over the top, excited. I've been talking about it for a while, and we will begin today. Today is the day. So again, I'm Dr. Julia Royston of BK Royston Publishing, Royal Media and Publishing, and the author community, the book business bosses, helping you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, be a book business boss. And if you're interested in writing your book, reach out to me, talkwithroyston.com. That's talkwithroyston.com. So let's just jump right into it. Day one of Educational Summit 2020 is this week is kind of a unique week. One of the main reasons why I'm even having this virtual educational summit is one, I am a retired educator. Whoop, whoop, yes. I was a librarian and in corporate America and law schools and law libraries and medical libraries. And then I went from a Fortune 500 company when I was instructed by God to go home. And I came back to Louisville in 1996, and I landed at Presentation Academy, all girls high school. Oh my goodness. What was God thinking bringing me there? Well, it was probably one of the best landing spots ever in my life because they taught me how to teach, and they taught me how to live and serve and grow. So big shout out to Presentation Academy for 10 years. Then I met Mr. Brian Royston in 2005 and married him in 2006. And he said, you can't make that little private school money. You got to go to public school. And I said, no. He said, yes. So anyway, long story short, I landed at Dixie Elementary, Jefferson County Public Schools in Louisville, Kentucky. In 2006. And so I got married, moved to Indiana, went to the elementary schools. I do not have biological children. So it was over the top, a rude awakening. Title I school, 94% free reduced lunch. Oh my goodness, talk about culture shock. But they taught me how to be. They gave me some oomph. The first year, the fifth grader at the last day, my very first year, which I had cried every day. And then the last day of my first year, a fifth grader, was her last day seeing me. She said, Miss Royston, if you're going to be out here with us, you're going to have to get tougher. You're going to have to get mean. She said, we don't know nice. We don't like nice. We don't respect nice. You're going to be out here with us. You're going to be out here with us. And that's exactly the way she told. You are going to have to get tougher. No principal told me that. None of my coworkers told me that. Mm-hmm. A 10-year-old child told me that. And that was the best advice. I was like, ooh, my eyes got big. But she was right. She was like, you're too soft. No. We can run right over you. So she taught me how to teach in elementary school. And every year I got tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher. And the tougher I got, the more they loved it. So that's kind of a little bit of my journey. But this evening, I have the incredible pleasure and privilege to have as my guest on day one of Educational Summit 2020, somebody that really I've met virtually. We have never hugged and never in person, but I feel like she's my sister, period. And I've been watching her grow, and she's been watching me, and we've been sharing and going back and forth. And I just had to have her on with me, especially which day. I said, Wycondia, which day can you do? She's like, I don't know, one day I'll start it off. I'm okay. I was like, so I want to introduce to the audience here, Dr. Wycondia West, and I want her to take away, introduce herself, tell us where we can find her on social media. Also, what is her website? We're going to talk about her books and materials a little bit later, but I want her to go ahead and introduce herself so y'all can start following her on social media, visit her website and all that good stuff, and be ready to go. Wakanda, take it away, babe.
Okay, hello. How's everybody doing? I'm Dr. Wycondia West, and I want to say thank you, Dr. Julia, for having me on as your first guest for this educational summit. That is my passion. That's my first love. Believe it or not, I started off as an elementary teacher, first grade. Early childhood was my passion, and now I primarily deal with high school students and high school parents. I'm located in Mobile, Alabama, sweet home Alabama. And my business is based in Mobile, Alabama. However, I am all over the world, all over the country via social media. You can find me on LinkedIn at Dr. Wycondia West. You can find me on Facebook as Wycondia West. And you can also find my private Facebook group, which is ACT and College Ready. It's a private Facebook group, ACT and College Ready. Also, my Facebook business page is West Instructional Services. I'm also hanging out on Instagram. That's not my favorite spot. It's not my favorite spot, but I play over there on Instagram a little bit. You can find me on Instagram at Dr. WSW, and of course, Twitter, Dr. Wycondia West. Now, to get down to what I do, my superpower, I help students increase their ACT score. And by increasing their ACT score, they are able to help mom and dad hold on to a little bit of their money in their pocket so they can go to college for free or almost free. And believe it or not, and I hope parents really realize this, the quickest way to earn scholarship money is to take the ACT and do your absolute best on the ACT or SAT. You'll hear me talk a lot about the ACT tonight because that's my specialty, that's my forte, that's my superpower. So that's what I do down here in Mobile, Alabama.
And around the world via Zoom.
And around the world. That's right.
Google Meeting and anything else that Skype,
yes.
whoever else, to have virtual conferences. And we're going to make sure that you get that website so that you can schedule a consultation and get your child on board, because I've seen incredible scores that her students and the students that she's worked with from a little bit of everywhere, and they've had some incredible scores. I needed you when I was in high school.
I needed myself. I needed myself when I was in high school. I was telling Dr. Julia that I graduated in '94. I am the product of the public school system with, I loved it. However, what I'm doing, the information that I'm passing on to students and parents, I don't remember anyone doing that. Even though when I was in high school, I had a phenomenal high school counselor, junior counselor, senior counselor. They were amazing, but they weren't able to give me all of the information that I'm giving these students right now. And I know we were chatting earlier about, high school counselors, how they have a job to do. And one thing that's not their job is college prep, which is where I come in, and which is what you're doing when you use your platform, Dr. Julia, to spread this information. Because a lot of times the high school counselors, they probably have about 200 or 300 students that they have to, first of all, talk to, chat with, plus their parents, and then they're dealing with scheduling and different things of that nature. And college prep kind of sits on the back burner. So,
and of course, you've got parents who may not have gone to college themselves and gone through that process, or been frustrated by that process, or even if they did go through that process, they want their child to experience something different. And they have the
Absolutely.
student loan bills to prove it. And I know what that's like at the end. The student loan bills.
Listen,
uh,
I do know. I do know.
Go
And
ahead.
that's why the ACT is so important. One thing that breaks my heart, Dr. Julia, is when I see students waiting until senior year
Mhm.
to get started on the college prep journey. And I try to tell my students and the parents who follow me, you have to begin the college journey and preparing and get the process started at least middle school,
Mhm.
at least eighth grade,
Mhm.
and I'm being nice by saying that, at least eighth grade. And another thing I see parents do, and the students, it's, I can't put it all on the parents. They get to the ninth grade and they don't take it seriously.
No.
And they destroy their GPA. Ninth grade matters, 10th grade matters, 11th grade
Yeah,
matters, and
that's a
12th,
big one. Yeah.
because there's a certain thing called a cumulative GPA. It's
Mhm.
not like elementary school. It's not like, middle school where, okay, I played around in sixth grade and now I'm gonna get back together. And now seventh grade, I'm shining. Eighth grade, I'm shining, because those are all separate years.
Mhm.
But high school is all cumulative. It
Yes, yes,
all goes
yes.
together.
It definitely does. And okay, so even in my elementary school, probably about 5 years ago, we started
Hmm.
putting the college flags and banners. They put banners in the ceilings, and then they
That's
put the
awesome.
little banners on the. I know every school district is different, and everybody's
Right.
different, but they start putting those little banners on even the doors of every classroom.
That's
And one of
awesome.
the parents, she was like, isn't it a little too young to be starting with this college thing? They're still here at the basics. I said, no. When I was like 5 or 6 years old, of course, my dad was an educator and my
Mm.
mother was a champion for education. So when I was 5, I knew I was going to college, and I didn't even know
Mhm.
college started with a C. I didn't know if it started with a
Mhm.
C or K,
Mhm.
but I knew I was going.
You knew you were going,
I knew
right?
I was going. My parents said you were going, and I'm like, okay, well, wherever this college thing is, I guess I'm gonna go. And then
Mhm.
so over time, it was definitely not instilled in other kids like it was me. I'm like,
Right.
well, I don't know which college I'm going to, but I know I'm going to one, and I knew that all the way through.
Mhm.
And one of the things my dad did too in Christian ed is he did college tours before we knew about college tours.
Oh,
So he would just
wow.
take all the kids from middle school and high school and put them on a bus. So from
Mhm.
Kentucky, we went to Purdue. We stayed on campus, the
Oh,
whole
that's
nine yards.
cool.
Then I took a group and we went to Atlanta. So what do you say
Wow.
to the family, the parents who don't have that? There's not right now. Okay, so now switch gears, fast forward 2020. We're in a global pandemic right here
Mhm.
at the time that we're
Mhm.
recording. So what do you say for the eighth grader who there's not a college tour coming up because it's not
Mhm.
safe to go on a college tour?
Mhm.
The parents are like, okay, what do we do? We're totally confused. So
Right.
what do we do next?
Right.
What should we be doing? What
Yeah.
should the eighth grade? Let's go to eighth grade. Let's
Mhm.
not even do high school.
So
What should
so
the
let's
eighth grade
let's
parent do?
yeah, so let's back up and go to eighth grade, and that's a perfect grade. One thing I will say, and we can even back up to seventh grade, okay? I work with seventh graders. One thing I would say is get into or get involved in mentorship programs, because there are lots of programs where you have mentorships. I do a lot of work with the Kappa League. I do a lot of work with the Lamplighters. And even though you're not physically going on different college campuses, you can do virtual tours. So do a virtual tour, you know. And start putting, like you said, with the banners at the elementary school. Start researching your colleges. Start thinking about which college is going to fit me, and start volunteering. Colleges love to see volunteerism all over your your high school resume. There's always something. You've got to keep moving your feet. You've got to keep doing something. I like to say, and I like to tell my students, look, get away, get away from me with this laissez-faire attitude. You've got to do something. Don't sit back twiddling your thumbs. So volunteering, get involved in mentorship programs, do virtual college tours, and also take the ACT in the 7th grade so you can qualify what's called the Duke Tips. Have you ever heard of the Duke Tips program?
I don't know what the Duke Tips are.
And you can get scholarship money. So basically, the good thing about the Duke Tips is sort of like, you ever heard of Talent Search? It's sort of like a talent search program, okay? And once okay, good. I see somebody dropped it in the chat, Duke Tips, yes. You're a 7th grader. You have to take it by 7th grade, okay? And even though the ACT has 4 sections, English, math, reading, and science, well, they really only look at one section. And if they score like a pretty decent score on one section, you get in the program. And then you can actually go to the campus. You're involved in different activities, and you can win scholarship money.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. 7th grade.
Yeah.
7th grade.
Yeah. Just Google. One parent said, is their website? Yes, just Google Duke Tips. It's very, very popular. DUKE, Duke Tips. It's a very popular program.
Okay. Wow.
So
we needed that when I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one of that's a golden nugget. That's a platinum nugget for us this evening. 7th grade, Google Duke Tips. It's a very popular program. Take the ACT early so they can nab you early.
Yes.
So will you begin to get information from colleges when you register and take that?
Yes. And now let me tell you this. This is the other good thing about taking the ACT early and taking it often, okay? Once you start taking the ACT early and often, and then you start navigating through this college process, colleges will start sending you information, okay? Right. Because when you sign up and take the ACT, you're going to list different colleges that you want your score to go to. And once they get that score and that score starts looking real good, they're going to start sending you information, scholarship information, just all sorts of things, different activities that they have for you, because they want you to get in there, right?
Yes. Dr. Hunter, go ahead and in the chat, go ahead. You can make all the comments you want, and I'll be happy to share them. No problem at all. I'm on live, and I'm in the Zoom room. We're good to go. So, Dr. West is here as a resource for a lot of you. And again, I'm going to interject right here again. Feel free to visit Dr. West's social media, but it's West Instructional Services. .net. Okay. Yes. westinstructionalservices.net is her website. So be sure and log in there, westinstructionalservices.net. And I'll put that in the comments. I'll also put it in the chat too as well, so that you can begin to follow her, get on her email list. And because I know that she has parent summits that she does too as well. So this is kind of a launching for other people to get to know her, so that you can follow her and get other questions answered for her parent summits, because I've seen those with 2 other professionals in the area. If you're a parent with a child that is college prep, even if they're not right now, but you're gonna get them there, and you're gonna drag them there, even kicking and screaming there, but they'll wake up one day.
Some kind of way.
They'll wake up and get it, but you sometimes have got to spearhead it. So it's got to be a partnership, and you need to have. That's one of the main reasons from this educational summit is for you to get resources and tools, especially parents, so that you'll be able to fight for your own child's next level and for the next generation.
Yes. And I'm gonna tell you something else also, Dr. Julia. because I know we were talking about different challenges and, you know, college tours and you can't really go on campus or whatever. Another challenge in this pandemic era is miscommunication of expectations. Okay. I know all over social media, on the news or whatever, they've got this thing we're talking about text, you know, test optional, you know, no one has to take the ACT, the colleges are not requiring the ACT, and no more standardized tests. Well, listen to me very clearly. That's not altogether true. That the ACT requirement and all of that on, you know, college applications, if you want scholarships, they haven't done away with all of that. Okay. And let me be clear, your ACT score, your SAT score, think of it as insurance. Okay. Better safe than sorry. You know how we pay for car insurance, you know, and for years, you never get stopped by the police. You never have a wreck. But as soon as you do, and you don't have the
right,
and you don't have the insurance,
right, you're in trouble, big trouble.
And I'm saying that because I've already had several scholars, several parents to contact me because they are enrolling in school. Just last week, I had to work with a student. He's going to be an incoming freshman, okay, in college, and they wanted him to increase his ACT score. So he had to get prepared to take what's called a residual ACT.
Okay,
where,
no, stop right there. What is a residual ACT?
Okay, so a residual ACT is where you go to that college campus and they give you the ACT and they score it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's happening. So take the ACT, guys. High school juniors, high school seniors, don't listen to all of that racket about, oh, they don't, you know, nobody's requiring the ACT anymore. They don't. Listen, the last time I checked, college still had a lot of fees, tuition. It's not free yet. And like I said before, the quickest way to get you some scholarship money is to get that ACT score up. And whatever else you can't do, then you need to search for more scholarship money.
Exactly. You got to have it, or you're going to be having some horrific loans. Okay, so I need, before we get to your books, I want you really to talk, give me just one or two nuggets, because you know this is her business and this is what she does, but one or two nuggets that really parents and students, your scholars, that are looking for in a college. One or two, just one or two, because the rest of it they need to pay for. This is not a freebie night, but one or two nuggets, because I know people, you know, okay, so when I was in college, she graduated in 1994. I graduated in 1981. Okay. Eastern High School in Jefferson County Public Schools. The school colors were blue and white. The school fight song was the University of Kentucky. Okay. So most people, most of the seniors, they were like, "Ooh, yeah, we're gonna go there." But boo, that was for sports. Basketball, you know, Kentucky basketball is just all that. And University of Louisville and UK, whatever. But they partied. They had a great time. And UK will take your money for the first year. They don't have any problem by that, getting you in, because you're a state student and the whole 9 yards. But they partied hard. And they went to UK because we had the fight song, same thing. Yeah. You just changed the words. But they really weren't fully prepared. Now, I didn't go to UK until graduate school. My sister went undergrad, 4.0, 3.5, she was all about the academics, but some people were not. So you can't base going to college on what your favorite sports team is.
No.
So just one or two nuggets.
Okay.
Well,
I'll give you two, but the main thing is this. you have to research the college. I always tell my scholars to start with 5. And of course, they end up with way more. Start with 5 colleges that you absolutely positively want to attend, and research the tuition and out-of-state fees. Okay, it's got to be how much money that institution is giving you, right? That's one factor. Are they giving you the money? Okay. The second factor is, does it fit your emotional quotient? Does it fit you as a person, right? And I'll share this story. I had one student, she went down to Xavier, that's how you say it, Xavier University, HBCU, wonderful school, but guess what? It didn't fit her. It absolutely positively did not fit her. She was not used to a predominantly Black school. So guess what? She struggled through freshman year, and she ended up transferring back here in Alabama to another school. Okay, so money, is the college giving you money? And number 2, does it fit you emotionally, personally? Is it a good fit for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's definitely it. Because another thing is that I was the undergrad. I knew UK was too big for me. I knew that.
Too much.
There was too much going on. Whoop, world up. What? Who? Oh, they having this tonight, and they having
Party. Wow.
The game is what?
What party? I know.
It's too much. Get me off target. So I had to stay home to the liberal arts small school, which even as a freshman, my biggest classes were probably history and biology. Those were the big classes. Other classes, there was like 8 or 10 or 12 of us.
Oh wow, that was small.
Here. Oh yeah, very small. We only had 1,200 students, and that was day and night. Okay, so you can look around and say, I think Mary went in the hospital.
And you knew everybody.
Oh yeah,
wow.
And you knew everybody. And I was an accounting major from freshman year. I knew I wanted a degree in accounting, and I graduated with my degree in accounting. So the accounting students, we knew. And Sam, I think he had to go out of town. We knew everybody's business. So, that was the kind of atmosphere I thrived in.
Yes.
They were like, oh, Julia's here. And of course, it was predominantly white, and I was predominantly the only one Black child in the building. And hi, hello.
And that's the type of college I went to. And like I said, I'm the product of public school, and the high school that I went to, it was a mixture. It was a good mixture, but it was mostly African American, and then we had some, Caucasian brothers and sisters in the mix. But I attended Spring Hill College, which is the Jesuit College of the South. And it was, it's a predominantly white institution. And you could be in the classroom and it would just be you. Oh, yeah. And your other Caucasian brothers and sisters.
That's right.
And it might be 15 or 16 of, in the whole class.
Right.
So it was really, really small. But I loved it.
Oh, yeah. I loved it too. And the same Jesuits at Bellarmine University, same thing, same people, same crowd, same thing, same priest and nuns, same situation. Yeah. But the thing about it fit me. Now that wouldn't have fit everybody. Right. It fit me. Right. So you've got to ask yourself that. And this is my nugget. Parents, you've got to be honest and realistic about your child. You cannot force where you wanted to go or what you didn't do or what you couldn't achieve on your child when that's not for them.
It's not
it may be the 2-year community college first until he gets himself together, until she gets herself together. Yes. You can't, it doesn't work like that. So, don't force your life on them. Yes. First, look at them critically and honestly of what they can really do. Now, if they're just kind of being a little lazy, maybe you can poke them just a little bit, spur them out.
Absolutely.
But as far as driving them, kicking and screaming and, trying to lead that horse to water and it won't drink, just don't do it. Just
Don't
it
do
would
it.
save you time, money, and effort to stop that case. Okay, so before we move forward, I need to know, are there any other questions? Anybody have any questions in the Zoom
Let's see.
room and anywhere else? They say there's great information, great opportunity. But I did want to westinstructionalservices.net. I put
Mm-hmm.
that in the comments so that people will know how to find you. And then
Yes.
I want to, okay, so that's there. But I also want to point out your books. And one
Yes.
of the beauties is she has a packet, and this is already spoken for, but we
Okay.
do have a another. This one is spoken for another event that I had earlier. But
Right,
this
right, right.
is ACT Crack the Code, and then this one is the ACT Crack the Code Study Journal. Now this
Mm-hmm.
says 2019 to 2020, so it's the most
Yes.
current and the most up to date. So ACT Crack the Code. These books are available at your website, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
westinstructionalservices.net.
.net.
.net, and then there's a full packet. So I
Yes.
have a full packet to give away. So first off, I want you to tell us, what are they actually getting in this?
Okay.
They're getting in the book and the journal. What's
Absolutely. So ACT, it's a big test, right? It's a lot of information. And I had one of those other books. There are lots of books out,
Mm-hmm.
and most of them are about this big.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically condensed it.
Cliff
And
notes. Okay.
I work with, yeah, and I work with so many different types of scholars. I work with students who have ADHD, ADD, dyslexia, and my parents tell me all the time, those students who have those different learning styles,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, Dr. West, this is the best book because it's so simple, it's straight to the point,
Mm-hmm.
it's not 1,000 pages. So basically, inside ACT Crack the Code, it basically gives you facts and myths about the test. It tells you the test features for each section of the ACT. You have 4 sections. You have your English, math, reading, and science. And then, of course, you have the essay section. But it basically sums it all up for you. It tells you the features. It tells you what to do, what not to do, and just basically just crack the whole code for you.
Well, my thing is, okay, so going back to learning, because I even the school thing is different everywhere. It's different in Alabama, it's going to be different in Kentucky, it's different in Indiana. So wherever you are in the United States, school and learning is going to look different. But when you get in the new shoes, if you're going to do that, if you're going to get the new clothes, and then if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler, you need this set of books. Even if they're not ready to do it in 7th grade, by 8th grade, they need to do it. Now, to take advantage of the things we discussed, you need to take advantage of it in the 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get a head start, get it for a 6th grader and get a head start on being prepared for that test in 7th grade and continue to move forward to improve yourself so that you'll be, your score goes higher and higher and you'll get better. This is your scholarship fund. This is your future right here. This is a part of that digital backpack, what should be going in that backpack as well, and a part of that prep for your college positioning and college readiness. So the ACT Crack the Code, the ACT Crack the Code, the journal, the study journal that goes along with that to make certain of that. So last thing, one more thing. So for those who say, okay, I can get that book, but I don't know if that girl's going to open that book. And I keep following you, Dr. West, and I keep seeing all these wonderful scores. I mean, we're talking high scores. We talking these babies, the ones she's posting, they getting 30s, and a few of them babies got 36s. And I'm like, yay! And I don't even know the child. I'm like, woo, yay! At presentation, we had a few babies who got those high
Mm-hmm.
scores above 25 and 27.
That's
So I
good.
was like, yay! I'm all about it. And I don't even have a child to send to college.
Mm-hmm.
And all my nieces all graduated too, so I don't even have that to root on. But anyway, so I'm rooting on other people's kids. I don't care what
That's
color they
right.
are. I'm like, yay! Because I got to make sure the future is bright for
That's
the
it.
old people growing like me.
Ooh.
Okay, so the next thing is, what if people they need a guide, they need a face,
Mm-hmm.
they can't. Now some people can take the books and they'll be like, great.
And
But
they
we
do.
know
Some of them.
some
Yeah.
of them do, but we've got all, like they taught us in school, we've got to
Mm-hmm.
cover all the learning styles. Some people actually need hands-on.
Yes.
I need to see a face, even if it's
Yes.
virtually. I need to be able,
Yeah.
because I was trying to get Dr. West to come to Louisville.
Absolutely.
I wanted her to come.
I know
And
it.
we
We
were
were
gonna do it.
trying.
Yeah, we were trying to get the whole thing going. But anyway, we here in the virtual space. That's what we're gonna do. So
That's
what
right.
happens next if a parent says, I like her. I really want my
Mm-hmm.
child to work with her. We got the books, but it really didn't do it. Her learning style is really more interactive. So
Yes.
how can they work with you?
So, and that happens all the time. I'll have people, they'll get the books and we use the books and we look through them, but can you help us?
Mhm, mhm.
And yes, I do virtual sessions. I do one-on-one virtual sessions, and they last for about 2 hours where we connect through Zoom. I share my screen, I write on my screen, and then I send them more digital downloads. But I basically talk them through, walk them through the test, holding their hand. And so definitely, and if you're local to Mobile, Alabama, then I do have my in-person classes. My in-person classes, I only work with about 10 students at a time in my office space. But I can definitely, and parents inbox me all the time. They'll send me messages. They want to ask questions, or, my number is also listed. And sometimes all out the blue, I get a text message. I had one student text me. He was like, hey, I'm in Mississippi. I bought your books, but I got a question.
Yeah.
Can you show me how to work this problem? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll show you. So I love it when parents get connected to me and the scholars, because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm all over social media. Dr. Julia, a lot of times people will just kind of throw stuff out there and then boom, disappear. You
Right.
can't reach them, and
No.
they're not really true to their calling,
Right. Right.
So that's why I like to stay visible across all platforms. So definitely inbox me, shoot me a text, and sign up for a virtual session. And that's
Exactly.
on my website.
Yes, westinstructionalservices.net. We'll continue to, I've shared these on we have approximately 26 shares. So this
Oh,
tonight
wow.
so this is
Yes.
gone a lot of places on a lot of different
Yes.
platforms.
Yes.
So look for your inbox with some other people, and I'll be sharing it as well, because I really think this is really, really, really important. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have taken this whole week to have this educational summit 2020
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't a part of who I am, first off, as a person. But then
Mm-hmm.
also my heart goes out to everybody, the educators, the students. And I
Yes.
am now a business community partner.
Mm-hmm.
We write books, children's books, young adult books, to sell back to the schools,
Oh,
to help
wow.
with literary programs, as well as do workshops. So therefore, my thing is, now I am on the other end of it. I'm a community partner wishing to partner with schools so that we can, work together on this, because it's going to take a village. It's going
It
to take
is.
everybody. My older cousin, she used to say, put your shoulder to the wheel. Everybody's going to push their shoulder to the
That's
wheel
right.
to make this happen. My heart went out to, of course, seniors who didn't really get to, whether they were in college or in high
Mm-hmm.
school, they didn't get that walk across the stage. But I congratulate
Exactly.
parents and families who tried to make it as fun as possible. We
Mm-hmm.
loved it, we shared it, we enjoyed it, we congratulated, we cash apped, we did
Mm-hmm.
whatever we could to support the children. But we found some things. We figured out that learning can happen in
Mm-hmm.
different ways and in
Mm-hmm.
different spaces. Line them
Absolutely.
up. I have a sister who likes all the names on the desk and on the books
Uh-huh.
all got to be back in a row and all
Oh
that.
yeah. That's how I used to be.
Okay, I need to introduce you to my sister, Stacy Porter. So they
That
want all the book. But I'm sorry, beloved, it's not that way. You don't get
mm-hmm.
to line them all up and who's gonna be the line leader. That's elementary. Who's gonna be the
Mm-hmm.
line leader? And oh my God, you're the caboose. And oh my gosh, you're the
Yep.
oh no, it don't need that. The hall monitor is unnecessary, and the bathroom
Mm,
monitor is too. Because you're gonna be home in your own bathroom and in your own
yes.
hallway. But as educators, my job this week is to make sure that I'm bringing tools in the social media space to help
Mm.
you to definitely move forward. Last thing, Dr. West, you have any more suggestions besides going to your website?
Yeah.
What else do you want to encourage the students and parents as we come
Absolutely.
to the upcoming learning opportunity?
Yes, absolutely. I do have I don't know, can I share this? I have a virtual parent summit coming up, and it's going to be Sunday, August 16th. And I will post that on social media. It's going to
Great.
be Sunday, August 16th, and it'll be sort of a parent summit where we're going to try to give out some more information so parents can still navigate this process, because as you already said, it takes a village. These children are the future. We need them to get in position, do what they need to do so they can make things better for everyone who's coming behind them. um, Let me say this. I have one young lady. She'll be attending college. She's going in as a freshman, and her ultimate goal, now she's going in as a freshman, but her goal in life is to become a judge.
Mm.
She's like 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's a young student, and I love her because she's going to be an amazing lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
because judges are lawyers.
Yes.
She's going to be changing laws, changing you know social
Everything. The world
anything,
around her.
right?
Yeah.
And we need that.
Yes.
We need that. We need the millennials to get in position so they can do what they need to do to make things better, to change laws, to create laws, right? For everyone who's coming behind them. And I will say this, I will drop this nugget, because I had one parent to inbox me and she was a little bit confused. And I figured if she was confused, it was probably some more people
Right.
confused. So she was like, Dr. West, she said, I need my students' GPA to be a little bit higher. Should I do AP classes? And so I told her, I said, well, AP classes, that's not necessarily going to help the GPA. AP classes, that's sort of like your honors classes, but
Right.
really, really top AP classes, okay? The real benefit of AP classes is to get college credit.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way you can get that college credit is if you take the AP exam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, it varies from state to state, because all states don't really require students to take the AP exam, which really defeats the purpose
Right.
of taking AP classes. So I told her, I said, listen, take the AP classes if she's going to take the exam.
Right.
And make a 3 or a 4.
Right.
Now the highest score is a 5.
Oh, okay.
But yes, take the AP classes if she wants college credit. And she'll only get the college credit if she scores a 3 or a 4. Most colleges want a 3 or a 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just thought I would clear that up.
Please, please, please. Now, my students at presentation, Spalding University was next door. So they just walked across, and some of them had 24 hours by the time they graduated. So,
Wow.
yeah, them girls weren't they were no joke. And
Mm-hmm.
so this 16-year-old, is she going to college freshman at 16?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
going
wow.
to, and actually, I think this year she turned 17.
Oh, wow. But that's still
So
young. Woo,
she's
wow.
still young. She's still young.
Yeah. Oh, she's
Yeah.
ahead of the game. She's on that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. track, with 16,
Yes, ma'am.
high school, and doctorate by 23. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
she's gonna do it.
Yeah.
She's just that type of person. Yeah.
Exactly. But that's a certain kind of person, and you cannot put that kind of pressure on somebody else. You can't do
Mm-hmm.
it. So if your
Mm-hmm.
child is not on that track, meet their needs where they are. You cannot
Absolutely.
force that scenario into your child. You got to
Absolutely.
determine what your child needs and what your child can have. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
back to the parent summit. August
Yes.
16th, parent summit. It's going to be from your group or from your business page.
It's
Where can
going
they
to be
get it?
on my personal Facebook page.
Okay, so
So
come
that'll
to
be
Web.
public.
That'll be
Mm-hmm.
public. Great. August 16th. What time?
5 p.m. Central Standard.
Okay, so in my area, that's 6 p.m.
6.
Eastern Standard Time. Okay,
Yes.
so 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the reason why you need to follow Dr. Wycondia West. That's Wycondia West, just like the direction,
Yes.
WEST. Nothing funky, no E on the end, no, West. WEST. Find her, look at her face right now, find her on social media and begin to follow her and share her information with your friends, as well as westinstructionalservices.net, which is also in the comments. And so that you will be able to get the books and gift a child, gift someone, gift your library so they can check them out. So that your high school or your middle school library can have those materials there to get a jump start. If you really care about your kids, if you really care about your students being the best that they can be, if you're an educator and that you want to have that ability that during a break time, during off time, to be able to encourage that, if somebody has a little bit of free time, put them books on their desk and say, study. Let's get ready, get prepared for the next phase and the next level of your life. So thank you so much, Dr. Wycondia West, for being here.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. I know that you're going to have more parent summits coming up and other events. Remember, she is available to do one-on-ones and group virtual sessions.
Yes.
Don't let Mobile, Alabama stop you. She is global. Okay. So
Yes.
wherever you are, we can get the time zone, get the schedule, the calendar, whatever that looks like. So that's one of the beauties. We've talked about the global pandemic. It's horrible. Yes. It's been awful. Yes. We grieve over the families who lost loved ones. It's horrible. But there are some people who we would have never connected with unless we had been forced into this virtual space. So I am super excited about that. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. And I want you to know today, tomorrow, and always, I am here to bring you people, resources, tools, and information to help you live your best life. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. Thank you, Dr. Wycondia West.
Thank you.
And join us on day 2 of Educational Summit. I have 3 educators who are going to be definitely joining me. They're all from the state of Alabama as well. They're in Montgomery, Alabama. So I made a marvelous Alabama connection. Yes,
right up the street from
me.
Right
up the street from you. Yes, love. So
I've got to tune in.
Yes, Dr. Shanice Williams and her husband, Dr. Edward Williams Jr., as well as Dr. Fernette Clemens Nettles. And they're going to be on with me tomorrow night. They're coming from the administrator's point of view, and they're just wonderful people. So stay with me each evening on Educational Summit 2020. I'm Dr. Julia Royston. Have a great day.